Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer, taking a look back at an important prep for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. The likely favorites in this race, I think, that's got to be the undefeated Echo Zulu, who took them all the way in the Frizette at Belmont Park. Let's start the Grade 1 Frizette, a one-turn mile. Echo Zulu, winner of the spinaway in her prior start, just goes right to the front and never gives him a chance.
True enough. I mean, really, for a 1-5 shot, Dan, she does it exactly how you want to see her do it at those odds. Nothing to see here, really. Uses her speed, which she has shown in all three starts so far. She doesn't go as fast early here, I don't think, as she did in the spinaway in her most recent start. But she's in control. She's going to hold her advantage around the turn, and she is going to run away from this field in the stretch.
I think it's a good sign that she didn't go as fast, Mike. I know it was only an incremental stretch out in distance from 7 to the one-turn mile, but she wasn't speed crazy. She sets a rated pace. You see Gerrymander, who runs second, is sitting just off of her. There's not a ton of closing going around. You'll see Amore, the number 2, down towards the inside. I guess she ran okay to be third, but she was still beaten over 10 lengths.
Yeah, you're right. There is no closing going on in this race. Echo Zulu's in control. Gerrymander, who was, sort of an interesting other horse in the race coming off of a maiden win, is going to be able to keep up with her all the way to about the quarter pole, Dan. Echo Zulu is not getting away yet, but Santana hasn't asked her yet either. Once they get into the stretch here and get straightened away, he's going to set her down. And I just think you have to really like the way she finishes this race off. She dusts this field. I get it. Nobody's really running behind her, but it's obvious that this filly's very good.
She is simply too much horse, as Mike mentions. The last eighth of a mile is a procession for Santana. This horse earned a 90 Beyer speed figure for the second consecutive race. Her debut was a 92. She is a perfect 3 for 3, and she is geared down under the wire. And I guess Amore was running a little bit at the end of this race, but did you see anybody else, Mike, that really tickled your fancy leaving the Frizette and maybe heading to the Breeders' Cup?
No, not at all. Actually, there were certainly some horses who it just feels like, there were several horses coming in here right off of maiden wins, Dan. And it just sort of feels like bumping into a real top 2-year-old like Echo Zulu in this kind of a race. It's just not going to work out. It doesn't mean that they're not going to turn out to be okay, but they really had no chance with this horse.
Undefeated Echo Zulu, $300,000 yearling. She will have to navigate 2 turns for the first time in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. From a pedigree standpoint, the extra 16th of a mile, I don't think should pose that much of a problem, even though she is wickedly fast. She is, of course, by gun runner, and this dam just seems to throw one good horse after another.
Yeah, she's got a nice pedigree. The distance is always a question for these horses until they do it. So, we'll see. I like the way that Asmussen is sort of incrementally stretching her out, though, Dan. And just the way that she finishes her races, even when she, had to go fast early in the spinaway, the way that she finishes, even that day, it just sort of makes you feel like she is going to stretch out. She's really, really good.
Let's take a look at the order of finish for the Frizette. Odds on Echo Zulu was too much. Gerrymander ran okay, Mike, coming off a good race at Saratoga to win her maiden for Chad Brown. Do you see any upside here, or is right now just the margin that she has to make up from Echo Zulu just too much in only about 3 weeks or so?
Oh, there's definitely upside here. This is another filly with a really nice pedigree, who had run. She ran very well when she broke her maiden at Saratoga in a fast-paced race where she was relatively close to it, and still managed to hold on at the end. There's plenty of upside for Gerrymander, but it just feels like, if they go on to the Breeders' Cup with her, and I suppose they could, she's just going to have to take a huge step forward.
Any thoughts on Jester Calls No Joy, who was a very gritty debut winner at Saratoga? Maybe not the greatest start in this race, and then a wide trip. I'm not saying it's a Breeders' Cup type of filly, but maybe someone to watch next year.
Well, her maiden win at Saratoga was, certainly impressive, where she just got to the front, didn't have to go fast, and blew a field out. I guess she ran, okay in that race. She did not run well in this Frizette at all. She got herself relatively close to the pace, sort of between and behind horses, but she had nothing through the stretch, and she did not change leads.
The story of the Frizette was Echo Zulu, and she's going to ship to Southern California for trainer Steve Asmussen as a 3 for 3 2-year-old and perhaps the favorite for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies.